Well, welcome to the Cool Time Dice Hour Session 0.
Cool Time Dice Hour.
We have a jingle. Hey.
Yeah.
Just need to put some
I
music
have to make a theme song for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So as they're going to hear when they get to the first episode.
Yes.
But before we get that far, let's tell the people who we are.
Okay.
So my name is Kyle. I am the co-creator of Cool Time Dice Hour.
And I'm Krissy, and I'm the other co-creator of the Cool Time Dice Hour.
Okay, so the big question is then, what is the Cool Time Dice Hour? And that is what we're going to talk about here before you actually hear some of the episodes. So,
Yes.
We are both veteran podcasters. You have done the most excellent 80s for 4
It's
5
like
years?
almost 5 years.
5 years, wow.
Isn't
okay.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
nuts
time
how-
flies.
I know when you look back and go, I've done that many episodes?
Yeah, well, we don't have that many episodes. But it's been a lot of time chronologically.
And that is a show where you look back on your favorite movies of the 80s and through the lens of today.
Yes, to see if they hold up, if
Yeah.
we remember them fondly from our childhood, but turns out they're not really good, or if we assume they'll be super problematic, and then we watch them again to see how bad they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've done some stuff with the Next Reel. So I've been an occasional host and guest on a bunch of different movie related podcasts. Rob Tabasco and I hosted the Marvel Movie Minute for a couple of things.
Which I love.
That was another
That's
those
been a
episodes
journey.
build up fast.
Yes.
So when you talk about like, we did that many episodes, I kind of look back and go, oh yeah, we've done like 400 episodes because it's
When you
minute
look
by
at
minute.
something minute by minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do love those ones because it's really fascinating how much you can really get from looking at every single minute and how like, I love that one.
I have deep appreciation for different people from different walks of the industry. Like when you take them in and suddenly you find out about this stunt man or, that extra or this cinematographer or whatever. And so like now I think of them as my people just because I've studied their work.
Yeah.
It's like
so closely.
exactly. Like I can see in the credits and go, oh, I know who that is. Or certain actors that pop up and I'd be like, I know you were from, you spent a lot of time on Incredible Hulk. You were in minute number. Yeah.
I know all the minutes by number. Yes.
Oh no, I don't have that good a memory. But one passion that we both share besides talking about movies and stuff too is we both like role playing games.
Yes.
So. I also do a audio drama podcast called the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society. So we were trying to think of what we could do in this thing. So we sort of came up with this idea of doing an actual play podcast, which is essentially as hard what Cool Time Dice Hour is going to be.
Yes.
But we couldn't really decide on what thing we wanted to do.
We're not good deciders.
Yeah, we're not good.
We're creators, not deciders.
Should it be Dungeons and Dragons? Should it be vampires? Should it be what could it be?
And why have it just be one of those
Right,
things?
exactly. And so that's what it came down to. Why should it just be one of those things? Why not do all the things that we want to do and not tie ourselves to one specific thing? Like if we decided to do a traditional fantasy thing and it suddenly goes off the rails, then we're kind of stuck. So we decided to create Cool Time Dice Hour as sort of a building and then or a stage, I guess, and then on that stage we're going to be doing a bunch of different stories.
Yes.
And I guess what we hope makes us different is that we're not trying to step on anybody's toes. We're not trying to be Critical Role. We're not trying to be Glass Cannon. We're not.
Heavens no.
They're doing great stuff, and so we sort of we don't want to get into that zone and end up. We sort of wanted to find our own way to doing it. And as we were recording this, we are sitting in the neighborhood comedy theater.
Yeah.
Because you are a student and teacher of improv.
Yes.
So we are actually recording episodes in an improv theater. So we thought, why don't we bring some of that comedy energy into the show? Can you talk a little bit about how you feel improv and role playing sort of overlap?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's a lot of collaborative processes in role playing games that you're making it up as you go. Whether you're the player who's having challenges set before you and you're having to decide how to react to them, or if you're the person who is running the game and you're having to take the essence of the plan that you have and adapt it to what your players are doing. Either way, there's going to be things that are coming at you that will be unpredictable.
Right.
So the nature of improv is to be able to be open-minded and roll with whatever comes your way, right?
Right.
But another big part of it is that it is a collaborative medium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the thing that was most exciting to me when I started sort of studying improv. It wasn't about, because you sort of watch Whose Line as just a comedy show, and it's about Ryan Stiles gets up, says something funny, and it's like, no, but that's because Colin Mochrie ever volleyed him that. And so once you start seeing that shared space, that like, here are the rules, here's what our universe is, and then watching people sort of bounce the ball back and forth. Yeah, that I think is what is exciting about having that energy going into role playing, because that's exactly what role playing is.
We're working together. We're creating it together.
Right.
And each of the players adds a piece of the puzzle. The person who's running the game, keeps everybody within the framework. But ultimately, we create something together that we could never have created as individuals, right? So that's what I think is really fun and appealing about the process, is even though I think I know what's going to happen in the episode, it's never actually what happens.
That's right. Because suddenly somebody takes a left, you thought they take a right, and you don't know what's behind that door, but you need to be able to answer it.
Yep. Now we're in some territory where I have to come up with characters that didn't exist before.
That's right. You actually have a really good format. I like it because you're doing a version of
Brindlewood Bay. The Murder Mavens of Brindlewood Bay.
I keep thinking what your story is called, not what the actual thing is. So Murder Maven, because that allows you to have people sort of swap in and out.
Yes.
So it's like you have built this sort of organization where people can come and go. And like you were saying, every time we have a different combination of players, then the story is a little bit different because people take it in different ways.
Yes.
I wanted to bring up specific examples, but I know that they're coming for you, listener, in the future, so I don't want to spoil anything. But I think that it's super fun to be in, which I've gotten to, and also to watch too, because just watching that different combination of ingredients, what you're going to get out of it.
And different levels of experience in role play gaming. Yeah. So some of our improvisers don't have a ton of experience, or they're new to role play gaming. Right. Maybe they've only played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, and then some of our I want to say performers, some of our guests, some of our
we're gonna need to
players.
I guess players. I guess we're going to need to come up with an official term.
Have tons of role play experience, but not necessarily performance experience. Right. So it's a really cool mix, and I think that's what part of what I love about what we're doing is that it's such a it's like sprinkles on a cupcake. There's little dishes and dashes of lots of variety.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's a good analogy. Because we want to make the barrier of entry really low, not only for you, dear listener, but also for our performers, our players, or whatever we're going to end up calling them.
Whatever we're going to call them. The Diceys.
I don't think they want to be called the Diceys. That's pretty. The cool timers. That's not bad. Because, like you're saying, I've even talked to some people who are traditional stage actors, and they were sort of like, oh, yeah, I don't really know. And I was like, oh, but like if this will really help you with your improv skills, like this will help bring that stuff up, and vice versa. Like you're going to be seeing a whole different world that you really haven't before, and also sharing the space like that as soon as you, like the idea that if you say something, that is now the canon. Like if you like suddenly you say, oh, did I not mention I have purple hair? Well, now you have purple hair,
and it's
like
that's what it is.
That's
now.
what it is from here on out, unless something comes in to actually change that. That's what's scary, but also really exciting about it. I am less decisive when it comes to that. Because I sort of have a bunch of different ideas, and I want to just try a bunch of different things. So
Which I love, which is great. I
Well,
love
yeah. So that's
trying new things.
Yeah, exactly. So we're hoping that you sort of will come along with us, and as you meet our merry band of adventurers, that will sort of rotate through. That and you're going to as well. I think you'll probably have other stuff besides Murder Mavens you'll run. So like Murder Mavens will be something that will come back multiple times. I have not yet picked a thing that I want to come back, but I have a bunch of one shots in mind of different things I want to try.
It's like Monster of the Weeks.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. There's different ideas, different stories, different universes, different tones.
Different goals.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not always going to be fighting.
Right.
It's not always going to be murder.
Right. And so we're in as neighborhood comedy theater. We're trying to like emphasize on that too. So there will be, probably moments of drama and stuff too, but we're also trying to like put on a fun, exciting show and keep it, I don't know, PG-13, I guess is what we're talking about, just to sort of.
I think PG-13 is great. It's like, that's the right where the fun basket is, right? Because then adults can have fun, kids can have fun. As you said, there's no barrier to entry.
Right.
You know that no matter what the game is that we're playing, you're going to have a fun time.
Yeah. I mean, like Murder Mavens is obviously about octogenarians. Like it's about, even though most people who are playing them are not.
No.
We're playing women and men who are much older. And so obviously they've had life experience and they've had these kind of the different ideas on what's appropriate and stuff too. So the themes obviously could be bigger, but we're trying to keep it into that sort of space where you don't have to be an octogenarian to appreciate Murder Mavens.
Certainly not.
Right. you don't have to have been a crime solving teen with a talking animal.
But we definitely want crime solving teens and talking animals to listen to the podcast.
Well, of course.
So if that's you,
I think that's we're doing targeted ads specifically to get them. So I think they'll be there. So we're like I said, we have done podcasting before. We've never done anything like this before.
Nope.
So we are still figuring out a lot of the things. So this is where I'm going to ask you for your patience and your kindness.
Yes.
Because we've never recorded a live show before, and so we're figuring it out. So essentially how it goes is we have we're here in the theater. We wire up the place with microphones and then record everything on there. And then so is the microphone in the right place? Is it set at the right level? Is it aimed the right direction?
Performer performing to the microphone?
Yeah.
Are they performing to the audience? Right. Are they turning to look at their fellow performers or cool timers and not necessarily pointing their face right in the microphone?
Yeah.
Are they banging on the table in excitement?
Yes. all things that have happened, probably will happen again, and we're learning about. So don't judge us by the sound quality of the first couple episodes, because we're still figuring that stuff out.
Judge us by our heart.
I can say by the time you were hearing this first, but we have recorded a bunch of episodes already, just so we got an idea of what it's like. And like the sound quality, what you're listening to now, is much better than the sound quality that you're going to hear in the first couple of episodes.
Yes.
It is still listenable. If it was not, I would not release it. So we
had integrity over here.
Exactly.
Just not, we don't have all the
technical acumen. Yeah. We don't know all the little intricacies.
At least not for what we're trying to do.
And for doing it with no budget. Like we have like this is all just the love of the idea.
And we're being pretty ambitious.
Yeah,
I think
so.
And I like our philosophy that we've landed on to have fun as we go and learn as we go and not wait for perfection to start putting the Cool Time Dice Hour into the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you are part of that, dear listener.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be coming along with us as we're learning about all this stuff and building the plane as we're flying it, as one of my old bosses used to say.
What better way?
So after we record that and I take this stuff back, then I sort of like to go through and do sort of a sound polish on it. Not only trying to make sure that all the audio is clear, but then I'm also going to be adding in sound effects and music and that kind of stuff. Whatever is public domain, because obviously we like to say no budget, can't really afford musicians.
No.
So I have to get what I can legally use. So what you'll be hearing, that's the stuff I put in afterwards. When the performers are doing it, we're doing all straight theater of the mind. Everything is done there. And you'll even hear Krissy and I both do vocal sound effects that then I will then go and add the actual sound effects in later, sort of like so you get the sort of enhanced experience.
Yes, Kyle adds all the magic.
Yeah, a little after pixie dust sprinkled over the top of it. So I hope that people like that because that's been fun too to add in little audio gags and stuff too, just to give it a little extra zhuzh.
A little beeping, a little clanging, a little crashing.
Maybe a record scratch or possibly a sad trombone. If it calls for it.
There's any time you can get a sad trombone. Anytime.
Mental note: add sad trombone.
Sad trombone. It always adds to the comedy.
So that's our philosophy. That's sort of where we're going to go from here. The first thing you'll hear will be an episode of Murder Mavens. The first episode that we did sort of a test run just to try the different way that we would sit. So we didn't record it. We just tried it because we've
changed several times.
We've changed several times. Yeah. So I can't describe to you how we're all sitting because every time we've sat differently. Mics with different angles and tables. Sometimes low tables, sometimes high tables. Yeah, we're still figuring all that stuff out.
Till we find the perfect table chair combination.
So in your mind, don't even think about us on stage. Just imagine whatever story we're telling. Yes. Imagine it's a bunch of mystery loving older people, going through a Halloween party or an auction or whatever it is, or a bunch of teens sneaking through an old abandoned fort as a winged creature is stalking them. Yeah. Whatever that be, like let it play out in your mind as our cool timers did.
Cool timers.
So thank you for giving this a try. Thank you for coming along for the ride. We're going to have some fun. And we're also going to be dropping in episodes like this from time to time so we can sort of talk about what we're learning, what we've discovered, and a little bit more about ourselves, about some of the performers that we've had. And so I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, you're getting so much. You're getting behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, above the scenes, below the scenes. It's every angle.
Every angle we can find. You'll be there. So thank you. Thanks for coming along. I think we're going to have a good time.
Yay. Cool Time Dice Hour.